Welcome back, all the dorkouts and nerd bombers of the world. Welcome back to Property Overwatch. Truck chat time. So, what are we going to talk about today? Today's video is going to be about the importance of medical, as your boy stabbed himself with a sharp-ass fucking knife the other day at work, and, was just being, it was so dumb, man. I was being so lazy I was cutting a zip tie off of an object, and I do it all the time. Just use my knife and pop it off, right? And I was rushing. It was wet to begin with, like the zip tie and the object, were wet, and I was running around like a Looney Tune, like I always am, and literally just had zero awareness for my own safety. Just was in the zone at work and tried to pop the zip tie. It was one of those thick ass zip ties too, and it just like slipped right off and literally stabbed my wrists, like almost all the way through, like right here, and like hit a couple like veins. So it did not stop bleeding. It was gnarly, blood all over the place. It was like, they asked me, when I called 911 because I was going in and out of consciousness, and so I initially saw that it was coming out like crazy, right? It was like all over the ground, and they were like, is it spraying or is it gushing? And I was like, it's hard to describe that, right? Like, because when it's coming out, like, I was like, I would say gushing with the definition of the term, but like it's coming out like like a sprayer would, pump something out, just like, it's just like, so it was all over the ground, like it would not stop. So, initially, having some fucking like just general awareness of the basics, right? Like most of us probably do in this community. I applied pressure and it would not stop with the pressure, right? So I basically was trying to run to my truck to drive myself to the hospital because I was like, fuck, this is not working. And so, I messaged, we got these little like, radios at work. I messaged my assistant, and I was like, yo man, I am I'm bleeding out, man. Like I just stabbed myself and I'm bleeding out hard. And so I tried to make it to my truck, and that's when I started losing consciousness, and the first time. And so we have like a first aid kit at work, right? But it's like this, chintzy little fucking, like little kid one, basically, that it's got like band-aids and some, crappy gauze and shit, right? So team members at work did wind up bringing some gauze out that we applied, and we wrapped it, but it would not stop. So like I called 911 at the moment that I got to my truck and realized that I cannot drive myself. I'm like, all right, I'm about to dip out. And so I went and sat in front of the building on the phone with 911, and I just tried to apply as much pressure as possible. I tried to use my shirt, and that wasn't working. So like I tried to like press it down on my leg and like really hold it down, and that seemed to work a little better. But one of my other key holders, he came out and with like some rope, and I was like half with it. So like I remember just being like, go ahead man, like high and tight. And I think there's some debate. Please weigh in the comments if you on one camp or the other. If you have a wrist injury, should that tourniquet be below the elbow, or should it be high and tight up here? I think there's some debate there, but I'd love for somebody to weigh in on that who really knows what they're talking about. And I just told them like high and tight, like with the rope. And then eventually I realized, oh shit, I got my belt, which would be way better. So I was like, yo man, use my belt. and he tried the belt. Eventually a cop got there first, and now that I think about it, I'm kind of fucking pissed because a super nice dude, like super nice cop, like he was like really like worried for me. He was yelling at like EMS or whoever. He was like, "Yo, get the fuck here!" Like he's bleeding out, like hardcore. Like he was scared, right? He was radioing to like dispatch or whoever. He was like, "Get the fuck here! Like run through that light!" Like because I think they were kind of busy with like some other shit, like car accidents and shit, right? And now that I think about it, I'm kind of pissed because I remember this is how you know I'm a nerd, because I remember like coming in and out of consciousness, like, and I remember looking at his kit and being like, oh, I wonder what he's got on his on his plate carrier. And I remember seeing the same fucking brand of tourniquet holder that I have. He's got the brand is called 1110, and I have the soft tourniquet holder pouch from that brand. And I remember seeing he had the Kydex one that the cops use, the hard plastic ones, and I remember seeing the tourniquet on his plate carrier, and he never fucking wound up using that. But you know what, he might have just literally like blanked in the moment, because like he was so he was freaked out, man. I don't know if it, like, you know, he's a younger dude, so maybe he just, like, you know, he didn't experience anything like this before, but like he just kept trying to apply. He was like, let me do it, and he was holding the pressure on, you know, as soon as he got there, and it kept bleeding through. They brought gauze out, and I remember just thinking like, damn, man, like I wonder if this is it, because it would not stop. Like, it just happened so fucking fast, and it was like 12 minutes later, is what I believe, from the point of me calling 911, I believe, was, so I mean, typical response time, right? For the cop, it was 12 minutes. So, you know, that's pretty typical. And then it was like another fucking 10 minutes until like EMS got there. You know, so it was busy. It was, you know, a weekend day, you know, lots of traffic, you know, out there and shit. So, you know, that just goes to show you, like, you know, they were probably all doing their best to get to me. And so, you know, think about that response time, like 22 fucking minutes of you know, so obviously I wasn't gushing from like a artery or something, because I'd be dead, but I know I nicked a couple veins, and they did an x-ray and shit, and you know, a lot of stitches and shit. They were, I guess I lucked out, you know, with the tendons and stuff. They were really worried about me being able to do this. It still hurt. It hurts like a motherfucker, man. And so, you know, preparedness, right? Like, I mean, we're around sharp objects at my workplace all day long. We're using them, right? Like, you know, I was lazy about not getting the scissors to cut the zip tie. I was just in the zone, running around trying to do my best at work, and just put it right into my fucking wrist, blood gushing everywhere. And you know, just like that, right? You know, somebody who like, you know, obviously does this for a living, right? I fucking, you know, I'm cutting zip ties like all day long for random ass reasons, and I use my knife for, you know, boxes, and, you know, fuck with knives all day long for fun and for work. And, you know, that's how quick and easy it can happen. And I was not prepared, right? My medical shit is out of my truck, because I, you know, had it at home trying to organize it, right? You know, somebody who, you know, is, you know, talks to people in this community about the importance of shit, and I did not have my shit together, right? You know, I'm in the middle of organizing all my medical things, and, you know, have them in a few bags. I know where they're at, but still, it didn't fucking help me, right? I still had to use my belt, and they said that, I mean, he really tightened that shit, and just fucking cranked it, my one team member, and the cop, you know, just kept pressure on it. And, you know, eventually during the the ride over there, the bleeding, you know, slowed down. You know, they threw me in the back of the ambulance, and you know, I just kept coming in and out of, you know, and I'm not somebody who's really fazed by blood like that, right? Like, you know, like maybe when I was like, you know, a kid and like lost a tooth and saw my blood, I remember feeling like a little woozy when I was like a little kid, but never in my adult life have I ever like, you know, blacked out from blood or anything like that. And it was the loss of blood. Like they were saying like I was getting dark circles under my eyes, and I don't know, my wife was like, yeah, that's the loss of like iron or whatever. And I forget if it was iron or magnesium, I forget. Everybody else knows way more than me about this shit, but yeah, I'll tell you what, I definitely, you know, am grateful for everybody that stepped in to help me, because it was such a helpless feeling, just being like just seeing myself like whoa, this is bad, like this is like, and I'm feeling it. I really remember saying to the cop, like, this doesn't feel right, man, like something's wrong with this blackout. You know, I blacked out you know, in life for, you know, random ass fucking shit. You know, you like you know, I've gotten in fights before, I've been stabbed before, I've been in a knife fight, technically, where, I mean, I wasn't holding the knife, but you know, I've been stabbed, you know, in my lung, in the side. You know, I've been hit over the head with a deck spindle. You know, I've been in plenty of fucking fights in my life, and you know, I know what it's like to black out. I know what it's like to you know, when you're like about to you know, just like completely nod out. Like, you know, I remember that feeling, but this felt different. This really felt like, holy shit, like am I gonna fucking die at work? Because that would really fucking suck. You know, I just remember like I just remember being like fuck, man, I do not want to fucking die at work. And that's how fucking quick, like, you know, like your day can change. And you know, I'm sure people who have been in car accidents or lost loved ones in car accidents, which is just so fucking common. You know, you wake up one day, your life is in order, and then boom, it's affected forever from, you know, just a short instance. And you know, it really like made me think about like all the shit that we have, right? All of the kit that we love and enjoy. The most likely needed thing is medical, and everybody says this shit, you know, that I keep it in your car. I have a whole fucking, you know, truck medical thing that, you know, last week I pulled it out because I wanted to sort of upgrade it and you know, update it. And fuck, man, just, you know, you get busy in life, like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. You know, I drive an hour and a half to work every day, an hour and a half home. You know, I'm not worried about fucking having it, like, because, you know, the last fucking year and a half I haven't needed it, so whatever. I'll organize my shit and I'll get it back in my truck when I feel like it. That's the day I needed it, right? That was the day I needed it, and that's how it always goes. You know, and I want to make sure that we have a beefed up medical kit at work that can stop the bleed, because ain't nothing in those little first aid kits that your employer has in the break room, ain't nothing in there gonna help somebody bleeding out. You know, and just really woke me up, man, like, because, you know, I fuck with knives all day. Oh, here, I guess I'll show you the knife. I remember the cop taking it out of my pocket when I was nodding out. Like, I remember him being like, all right, let me just like take this, man, just like, you know, relax, I'll get it back to you. And he must have given it back. I don't know, you know, he might not have, like, I guess they have to take shit for like potential evidence reasons, right? Like maybe he didn't believe me, and he was like, oh, did you do this to yourself or whatever, you know, maybe like he just like wanted to take it off me just in case he had evidence later that this wasn't what I said it was. So like, I understand, I was blacking out anyway. I was like, just take it, dude, like whatever. But yeah, it's just like a SOG, you know, like tactical company little folder, right? And actually it's still got blood on it, I think, on the tip there. But yeah, that's sharp as fuck, man. Like, it just went boom. Like, you know, really deep, really fucking deep. And yeah, that was not a good knife to poke myself with. But you know, ultimately, like, it opened up my eyes because I have like general awareness of how to use all the shit in my medical kits, but there are some people who like they would have no fucking clue where to put the tourniquet, right? They would have no idea what to do. They would be desperate to stop this bleed, and just a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of preparedness can save lives. And somehow I fucking lucked out. I don't know, the bleeding stopped eventually with with pressure on the way there, but it was like, even with a lot of pressure on this, it was still coming out for fucking like 20 minutes. So that's how much pressure was needed, and there was a belt. I don't know that belt was doing what a real tourniquet would do, but they had that up here. But yeah, I'm definitely curious for y'all legit trained people on a wrist injury here or a laceration. Would you put the tourniquet up here, or would you put it below the elbow? Really interested to see what would have been advised there. And yeah, it's pretty much it. It hurts like a motherfucker, man. It really, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's getting infected or what, but I got to go back and get the stitches out, obviously, and been trying to keep it clean and change the bandage. But I got this SAM splint just to kind of protect it, man, and it also stops the natural movement of my wrist, because any little fucking movement, it just hurts real fucking bad. So I'm just trying to minimize that, and yeah, just taking some Advil and trying not to lift anything at work. And this is kind of helping me like protect it. My wife put this under there just to kind of protect it, and it helped a lot at work today when I still got to do shit. Actually, I was still lifting fucking bags for people at work, and I just tried to do it with my left arm. But yeah, it was an experience, and I'm grateful I did not completely bleed out. And I'm grateful that I had people there who cared enough to step in and try to minimize it as much as possible. But fuck, man, lesson learned, because the week you pull your fucking med kit out, and my truck, I'm all about fucking truck preparedness, dude. I have, each door panel has like a headlamp, a poncho, a little tiny little belly band with OC spray in it, like because we've driven my wife's students out to Ohio before, right? And like when there's like like a group of like young girls in your truck, like, and you're driving out the fucking bumblefuck anywhere, right? Like, I just wanted every door panel to have like I usually keep a bottle of water in each door panel, like I wanted like some kind of like protection object in each door panel for shit like that. And so I've just like left them in here, right? And I have lots of other everything to change a tire, like everything to set up like a road alert, right? If like there's an accident or whatever, I got those little puck lights and all that shit, man, right? And the one thing, as soon as I pulled it out, that's when I needed it. And of course, it was the most important thing, which was medical. So, lesson learned. Your boy stabbed himself. It's the end of story time. But I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.